Relentlessness. Thinking of this, I came up with some points or keys that would help me live out my life in a relentless way. Thinking of that, I turned to books in the Bibles. First was First Psalms. And thinking of the story of David, how he was anointed, then later going and defeating Goliath. But it brings me to H, the first point, humiliation. You see, as Christians, we are humiliated sometimes to say that we are a part of God. We find that if we go to a church and close the doors, we cut ourselves off from the world and they cannot make fun of us anymore. We are hiding. We let the humiliation keep us from going into schools and saying what we need to be said, saying what we are told to say, because we are scared and we are humiliated. But we had to ignore this, for David ignored this. Being short, he was the smallest of his brothers. He was so small that people thought he was a speck. He was thought that he could do nothing. Even when he was anointed king, people thought it was a joke. But it wasn't, because he was not humiliated. He knew that he was planned by God to do something. And so he ignored humiliation like we are to. We are to ignore it and shun it. Next goes to W. W is work. See, I read the book of Genesis, reading upon Noah. Noah was a man that was told to build this humongous ship. But what people don't think about is that the Bible said it rounded the 600th year of his life. That's a long time to be working on this humongous, beautiful ship that God had planned for him to make. See, it wouldn't just be able to go out in a field one day and build this ship. It took years, time, patience, injuries. You know, he was sitting there just one day with a hammer and a nail going, I'm hammering this plank, and I have 600 more to hammer tomorrow, and 600 more to hammer tomorrow, and 600 more to hammer tomorrow. How am I going to do it? Anybody know how? Because he had work on his side. He knew that he had the determination that he could do the work that we are supposed to do. And there's the last one, is J. Most of us don't know this, but we have a job to be relentless for. We have a job that if we do not ignore the humiliation, we cannot do it. That if we ignore the humiliation, we are able to do the work. If we're not able to do the work, we are not able to go and be disciples. For that is our job in this world, is to be disciples of God. To take his word and place it in the schools. To take his word and place it in our jobs. To take his word and take it beyond the walls that we hide in. Take it beyond this place. But we're not. Why? Because we feel that we have an option. If we rewind the verses and go back to the one before, it talks about Noah building the ship. It says, because God commanded it, he built it. If you go forward to where he is putting the animals on the ship, it goes as God commanded it, he did it. You see, Jesus sacrificed his life. And it wasn't something he could easily do because it took the pain and the torment that we cannot know. We think that getting made fun of is something worse than anybody can understand. It is not. Not unless we're relentless. Because if we're relentless, no one can humiliate us. If we're relentless, we can do the work. If we're relentless, we can get closer to God. We can get closer to people because we're not Noah building a ship. We are Noah building a generation. We are Noah building friendships, talking to the people in the back of the class that no one wants to talk to. We are Noah talking to the people that we know hate us, but we don't care. Because we're relentless. That's my 3 points. It's the way I plan to live my life. But there's a fourth I didn't tell. It's called relationship. If we're relentless to get close to God, if we're relentless, like people in Siberia that are not allowed to read their Bibles, but yet they sneak them, if we're relentless like them just to open it up to the first page, we get to know him. We get to feel him. We get to be with him. All because we're relentless. See, we don't know that if we're relentless, we get so many things. Like his meaning. Like his word. Like his blessings. So if we're relentless, we can do everything. We will not be humiliated. We will be able to be relentless in our work. We will be able to be relentless in our job. We will be able to be relentless in our relationship. Thank you very much.